Jesus, I pray for this Bible study that everything is wrong, nothing is wrong. That you keep your hand over us and protect us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you. So we're going to look at Daniel chapter 3. And as we're going to go through this, we will see, I believe, some very extremely important things that are in chapter 3 for us as Christians living at this stage in the history of the world. And the whole of chapter 3 involves the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar decreed to be made in for the people, every people to worship. And I'm going to try and read as much of this as I can. Nebuchadnezzar, chapter 1, verse 3. Chapter 3, verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits and its width 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. And King Nebuchadnezzar sent word to gather together. Please note, the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the province to come to the dedication of the image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Okay? So in that verse, when the word went out, who were all these people that Nebuchadnezzar sent this word out to? Who were these people that I've just read? The satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, etc. Who were these people? Anybody?
All the officials, like of the government and
Very important what Kathy had just brought out for us. Extremely important. We cannot overlook the significance of what, because look, remember in the dream what he commanded. Then the king gave the command to call the magicians, the astrologers, the sorcerers, the Chaldeans to tell the king the dream. Totally different group of people here. So these group of people were so-called the governing authority of Babylon. Okay, keep this in mind. The governing authority of Babylon. And we Christians pay particular attention to this. Particular attention to this. The governing authorities. In a Christian environment, the governing authorities will play a critical part for us living at the end time. This is extremely important. I'm going to show this, okay? So then, verse 3. So the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the province gathered together for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then, now notice this one, verse 4. And then, just this, is it okay? Then, please pay attention to this. Then a herald cried aloud. Now, who is this herald that cried aloud? An individual or a group of individuals that went out, and what did they do? They cried aloud, which means to say they used a megaphone. Or today, in our modern day, what would this be? Anybody? In our day today, then a herald cried out. Go ahead, John.
Be online or like Facebook.
The whole, all of our communication system, every method of communication that is, go ahead, Aiden.
Like live streaming.
Everything. Don't matter whatever the method of communication that is prevailing in the world today, this is, and look, dear ones, this is so powerful what God is trying to teach us. Okay? Go ahead, Denise.
But it's interesting also that in verse 3,
Can you use your mic?
where is the mic?
You're supposed to have one.
Check. Okay, well,
Hello, can you hear? Okay. So it's interesting also that in verse 3, he gathered, so there are two things. The dedication of the image, he gathered them, right? And then in verse 2. And then in verse 3, yeah, I guess it's the same thing. It's for the dedication. And that's my point.
We're going to look at that.
So first they do a dedication of the image and then they herald it.
We're going to see the significance of what that means, that there's a dedication of this image, okay? We'll see this, okay? Then keep this in mind, this herald, to worship this image. Now, what Nebuchadnezzar did, he made the whole image gold. Who does Nebuchadnezzar represent as far as we are concerned so far, the way we have studied chapter 1 and 2? Satan. You weren't even here. Kathy got it. See how important this is? Nebuchadnezzar, and we looked at all the Bible verses. Kathy wasn't exposed to it. We had looked at all the Bible verses to prove that Nebuchadnezzar was a representative of Satan. Okay? Pardon me. Then at that time you shall hear the sound of the horn, the herald, and now you're going to hear the sound of what? All the different methods of communication. That's what it's referring to. All the prevailing methods of communication. I'm going to jump. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Okay? So it means to say that every person worldwide, we're not here dealing with a global issue, okay? So it'll be a worldwide issue that involves a burning fiery furnace. Now go ahead, Denise.
okay, but
Anybody wants to talk, cut in, because I need the input, okay? That to me is more important than anything else. Go ahead.
So, but you skipped all the music and all that. So is music going to have a part in it?
Well,
So it'd be like using music for revival and all that?
whatever, but it's going to, I'm not denying the music part. It's there, but it's what it's trying to teach us, that every method of communication, including all of that.
Okay.
Boy, how about this one? Will it also include preachers and teachers?
Yes.
Very, very important. And we'll see why. Go ahead, John.
I just want to say about the king,
Huh?
Nebuchadnezzar. The king's word was law.
We're coming to that.
Oh,
John.
okay.
We're coming to that. Very important, even what John just said now, okay? We'll see. So the fiery furnace involves what? If you don't obey, then it is a death penalty. You got it? Keep that in mind. So if you're not going to obey the king, who's he representing? Satan. We'll see how Satan plays in this whole thing, okay? Verse 7. At that time, when all the people heard the sound of the horn, the flute, harp, and lyra, and symphony, the all kinds of music, all the people, nations. Pay attention to this one. All the people, nations, languages, fell down and worshipped the image of the beast. Who are all these people?
the image of the beast.
I mean, sorry. See, I jumped the gun. See, I read that, and my brain is thinking of something else. So it is the image, okay? But it is the image of Nebuchadnezzar, the whole gold image. So all nations, languages, tongues, and people, correct? That's what it said. In Revelation 14, you don't have to go there. I'll just read quickly to you. the whole decree that was made there with Nebuchadnezzar to all nations, languages, tongues, and people. The eternal gospel is going to go this way too, okay? Then I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, the whole world, to every nation, kindred, tongue, tribe, and people. Same thing. What there Nebuchadnezzar did, all, the whole world. So keep this in mind. It's going to involve the whole world. Go ahead, John.
There's a big difference here, though. When Nebuchadnezzar said that, the people had no choice. Everybody would be killed if they didn't obey. But Jesus, in God's agape love, will give people a choice.
Very good. But what you have said, I'm going to show. Okay, remind me to make sure, because I want to cover this whole chapter in the time we have here this morning. So what here is involved is that these people here had a choice. Here, no choice, because we know if you disobey, the death penalty is on you, okay? But in Revelation 14:6, every nation, kindred, tongue, and people, they had a choice. Whether you're going to accept the gospel, eternal gospel, or you're going to take, sorry to say this, the gospel that most of the Christian world is promoting. There's a huge difference between the gospel that the Christian world is promoting and the eternal gospel for the end time. And it covers here. Why? We'll see. Now comes this. So at that time, when all the people heard the whole thing, all the people, nations obeyed. Okay? Therefore, at that time, certain Chaldeans came forward and accused the Jews. They spoke and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a what? A decree. What is a decree? A mandate, a law. A law is in place. And we will see how this applies to us. Before the second advent of Jesus Christ, before Jesus comes, there will be a law mandated by, under the jurisdiction of Satan, but mandated in the Christian world. Not outside the Christian world. It will be mandated in the Christian world. And if we have failed to understand God's agape love, I'm serious. This is how serious this is. That if we fail to understand God's character and God's character of agape love, we are going to bow down to Satan and his image. We are. I'll prove to you why. Okay? This is how important this is. And then you go through that whole thing. Then in verse 12, there are certain Jews, they're now complaining. Okay? There are certain Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon. So there will be what? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were also what? Had an official government position. These three guys also had an official government position. Okay? So here, you got the other group, then you got these three people, which means to say that the majority of this so-called Christian country, so-called Christian message, the majority will be under Satan's system, under Babylon's system. There'll be a minority. Compare 3 to we don't know how huge the other group were. Okay? So these 3 will be a minority that will stand for the truth. The majority will go along with Satan's agenda and be part of the Babylonian system. Okay? You have set province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not paid due regard to you. They do not serve your gods or worship the gold image which you have set up. Go ahead, Denise.
So notice that it's Nebuchadnezzar's God. It's a different God.
Very, very important.
But in our times, it's going to be more deceptive than that. It will
We'll
be-
see. We'll see.
Okay.
We're going to see how deceptive this thing is going to be. And I really am taking this, dear one. It's not the non-Christian that is going to be a problem. It's being played out right in front of our face right now. Right now in front of our face. If we think that this whole issue of Charlie Kirk was something that was just played out there, the significance of this is you look. And I'm saying this because I just, without me looking for any damn thing, I'm serious, I wasn't. I got exposed to Christians, not non-Christian, Christians, preachers. And I'm not going to tell you who were this group of people, okay? But they were Christian preachers that were doing exactly what we're going to see here. They were using demonic principles and systems to attack Charlie Kirk. Not that I'm promoting Charlie Kirk. There's a issue involved here, and the issue involves what we're going to see, okay? I'm trying to, like I said, I want to cover this as much as I can. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury. So the system for the end time, and we are seeing this. It's like everything is being played out in front of our eyes. The whole COVID issue, dear ones, what had happened? We were forced. We were forced. And the governments lied. They bought Satan's system. And they lied to everyone. Now that lie is being exposed. Okay? This is all being played out. That's why I'm saying this is everything that is being played out now is being played out for us. For all of humanity. We are going to make a choice. Whether we are going to bow down to Satan, Babylon, in their image, or we're going to only one person, Jesus Christ. Nobody else. That's what is going to make the difference. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, gave the command to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not what? Serve my gods or worship the gold image which I have set up?" Okay, dear ones, will we Christians be involved in that you do not serve our God or worship the image of our God?
It's not our God, though, it's our gods.
Yeah, no, I know, but I purposely used the word singular there.
Okay.
Okay? Purposely. That a time is coming where we Christians will do exactly what is happening here with Nebuchadnezzar. Satan is controlling Nebuchadnezzar and what the Christians are going to do. Okay, so here we go. They are thrown into the fiery furnace. I'm jumping now. So they are thrown into the fiery furnace, 3 of them, for disobeying Babylon, disobeying Satan, not bowing down to the image. Then it's done now, okay? Then the king was astonished, and then he rose and hasted and spoke, saying to his counselors, "Did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?" They answered and said to the king, "True, O king." Look, he answered, I see 4 men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of God. So the 3 of them went through this hell, literal hell. I mean, can you imagine the guys that threw this tree inside? They all got burnt. They got incinerated. And these guys were thrown into this 7 times hotter than it could be. So here what Nebuchadnezzar says, and they are not hurt. The form of the fourth is like the Son of God. Who's the Son of God? Jesus Christ. Okay? So what we're learning here, dear ones, this is how important it is. If we go messing around as Christians, reading the Bible and believing all kinds of lies, and we are not listening to the person of Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ alone, then do we have him with us? No. We think we do, but he's not with us. No. Why? Because we are following the wrong system. We'll see. I'm jumping now, okay? All this has happened. Go ahead, Denise.
No, finish what you're going to say.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's the whole world against Jesus Christ, basically. And if we align with Jesus Christ, then it's the whole world against us.
But I want us to focus. Yes, it's very clear, the whole world. But I am going to show right now here for us, sitting here as Christians, what is going to be seen here is not non-Christians. It's not non-Christians. It will be Christians.
They're worshiping their God.
Christians that will do the work of the devil. Why? Because look, think of it. Is Satan more interested in what the Hindus are going to do, the Muslims are going to do, the atheist is going to do, or whoever else is going to do? Or Satan is more interested in getting the very apple of God's eye? That's his agenda. He did it right in the garden. The very apple of God's eye was Adam and Eve. Why? Because he knew, dear ones, he knew that if I can get these 2 guys, I got the whole world. He knew that. And he took them out. And we have fallen prey to all these lies. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, after all this event happened, you see Jesus in there? Look at the huge conversion. Nebuchadnezzar became a Christian. Go ahead, John.
They must have known something about Jesus, even all these thousands of years ago, because they said who it looked like. It must be Jesus in there.
John, who is Nebuchadnezzar representing?
Satan.
So doesn't Satan know Jesus?
Yes.
If any person knows Jesus, because he's the whole great controversy originated over Jesus and Lucifer. Dear ones, believe me, Jesus, the problem was not God the Father. Lucifer's problem was with the person of Jesus Christ. And if I say what I'm going to say here, might confuse you because I don't want to. I don't think it'd be a good idea. But believe me, when war started in heaven, who was the war involving? Jesus and Lucifer. Okay? So this is why Jesus is so important. But look at here now. Nebuchadnezzar, after all what has spoke, saying, whoa, look at this. Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wow, huge conversion, huh? Nebuchadnezzar became a mighty Christian. Look at what he says. Who sent his angel, and I don't want to go into details here again as to who is his angel, who is this person, and delivered his servants who trusted in him, and they have frustrated the king's word and yielded their bodies. This is Nebuchadnezzar speaking. And they should not serve nor worship any god except their own God. See what Nebuchadnezzar has done now? He's had such a huge conversion. So what is he telling? He's telling everybody, the whole world now, because he's representing the whole world, that everybody pay attention and worship any other God except that God, the Christian God. Go ahead, Denise.
In verse 29, it says,
Pardon?
in verse
Oh,
29.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then go ahead.
No.
I'm going ahead then.
No, go ahead. That's fine. Go ahead.
Well, okay, you're saying he had a conversion, but he's still using the force principle because he says anybody who doesn't worship the God. Okay,
Okay, look.
okay.
Very important look, we can't look at verse 29 until we have understood very clear. From verse 28, you read the totality of verse 28. Then you look at verse 29, because if you don't understand verse 28, you miss 29. But keep what I'm saying here. This is nothing to do with anybody else but the Christian world. Why? Because look at what he had just said. Nebuchadnezzar is promoting which God? The true God. But we'll see that it's not the true God. He's become a Christian and he's promoting the Christian God, but it's not the Christian God. Who was like this in the Bible that was thinking he's worshiping the true God when he was worshiping the devil until his conversion? So he was totally wrapped up with Nebuchadnezzar's God until he met Jesus Christ. Here, now verse 29, okay? Therefore, I make a decree. Did he make a decree once before? Law mandating you worship the image to the beast. Now, Nebuchadnezzar as a Christian is also doing what? Bringing a law, mandating. And we will see, because we have understood God's agape love, we know God's character, we will see that this is where the Christian world is going to fail. The preachers, the teachers, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to mince my words. I won't be fair. I will be failing every one of us if I don't speak the truth. If I'm wrong, you help me to see. I'm always open to learning. That's how I've always been. I'm still open to learning. But here, when it says, therefore I make a decree, he's going to promote what? So-called the true God, the Christian God, Jesus. He's going to promote all of this. He makes a law.
With another death penalty.
We're going to see that too. That's why I'm saying I will have to go to Revelation to show this. There'll be even a death penalty from the so-called governing authorities with Satan as the head, Nebuchadnezzar as his agent, and they're going to promote this evil. They'll make a decree that any people, think of this. Wouldn't it be, isn't this great? That what Nebuchadnezzar is doing, isn't it great? He's telling everybody, I'm putting a law in as a Christian in every world, every nation, people, language, tongue, the whole world speaks anything amiss against this Christian God, against Jesus Christ, shall be cut in pieces. and their houses shall be made ashy, because there is no other God who can deliver like this God. This is Nebuchadnezzar. He's talking about the true God. He's talking about Jesus. He puts a law in that the whole world must worship this God. And if you don't worship this God, I'm going to cut you in pieces. Which means to say what? Death penalty. Now, dear ones, now you tell me, is this the God of the Bible of agape love that we have been learning about? Or is he the God from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Go ahead, anybody, go ahead, ask Reshmi. A microphone, please.
I'm sorry.
Well, from this interaction and context, we definitely see that he missed very important thing, and that is
Says what?
he really missed the real, the real God, the true and the living God. He missed it.
Yes.
He missed it. He used his position to control, and he used his word. Even though he tasted a little bit of God, but he did not taste the real, the true, the living God. Because if we look at Paul and Saul, that's totally different. We look at he saw God, but he failed to know who the real God is, and he failed to practice and apply.
Everybody, simple. I'm going to ask is I'm going to break it down to this. Please, if you young people, if you got any thought, share it. I'm serious. Don't worry about anything. Whatever, any thought you got, just share it, okay? How can we be 100%, not 99.9%, but 100% certain that we will not worship the wrong God, we will worship the true God? What is just one word? Go ahead, Aiden. Hey, Aiden.
Put God first.
Yeah, but one word. That's it. God is what? Love. What kind of love? The other three love that the Bible teaches, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil love, or the love Jesus Christ revealed. Go ahead, Denise.
I also think that we can go back to the garden and look at the two trees. One word for God, life. If it's anything to do with death, nothing to do with the true God. He's the living God, the God of life. And that's the tree of life. And the other one is the tree of death. So if there's a death penalty, it belongs to the tree of death.
The death principle. Because God really said, the day you eat of it, you will what? Surely die. And he died right there and then spiritually, because the whole view of God no longer was agape love. It was exactly the way Satan wanted it. Go ahead, Reshmi.
Yeah, and a God of agape love will not cut you into pieces.
I say, sorry,
Cut you into pieces.
too close.
Like, God of agape love
Yes.
is not a God of destruction.
Yes.
Destruction. He's not going to cut us into pieces. If that was his revelation, he will cut into pieces in the garden, right, at the beginning. And also, look, not cutting in the pieces, he's going to destroy the generation. So he's going to go into the house, the belongings, and he's going to destroy all that just to, follow. So he's still meeting his agenda. See, Satan's agenda is to destroy. He's still meeting his agenda, but through the holy way, through using this God here. So in the name of God, he's meeting his agenda, but the result is still destruction and still.
Very, very important. Okay? Any other thought? Anybody? Go ahead, Pastor Panil. Mike, please.
killing and the true God doesn't go along. Like,
Amen.
because God is full of love. He has nothing to do with killing.
Amen.
That's it, simple. But then we're going to come up. Go ahead,
John Mercer wants to.
John. Oh, go ahead, Kathy first.
I don't know if this is even on. but-
Yeah, no, that's on.
It's
That's
on.
Okay. Yeah, and God wants us to love him, like, out of a pure heart and out of, our love for him, not because if we don't, we're gonna get killed or yeah. He wants it to be,
That's agape love.
yeah, yeah.
See,
that's how-
you're not doing all of these things because you are afraid that they're going to kill you. Because if you worshiping him for that kind of a fear, then you're eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, not the tree of life. Okay? Extremely important what Kathy just brought up. Go ahead, John.
Well, I was just going to say, we talk about Nebuchadnezzar bringing this edict that, serve the God or you'll be killed. That happened in the Dark Ages. Like, there were people burnt at the stake for not bowing down or worshiping according to the church. They were burnt at the stake. There was quite a few of them. So this has happened, before.
Go ahead.
Finish? Yes. Pastor, brother,
Michael.
after you.
The difference here is, it's like Saul, he thought he was doing things correctly for God until he met and talked with Jesus and found out agape love. Nebuchadnezzar thought, oh, maybe I'm wrong, which is a big thing for that king to decide. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, maybe we should do it this way and worship this God. But it was in the wrong way. You can't have killing. There was no agape love in this decision. And it's the same, I think, with the Catholic Church. They've made rules and regulations which do not fit in with God's agape love. And this is the difference, is the word agape love in the making a decision.
Simple. That is all that's going to separate. Go ahead, Pastor Aaron.
Thank you, Sarah. When looking at Daniel 3 here, I tried to look at it in terms of like how we start off with, my learning with the class and stuff at the school with how we love, or why we love, the intention behind our love. And I remember you sharing us with that a story about a wife loving the husband, and maybe you know it, to share. And why the wife will love is because, say the husband is fearful, the husband is going to beat her up, or the husband is going to be nasty, and then the wife will love out of fear. And then again, there's another wife that will love the husband just because she just wants to love, and it's nothing holding. Now I was trying to see how this one fits in here and see if I'm making a connection or not. With agape love here in Daniel 3, when you look at these three gentlemen, they love God and they show their devotion, and it's just that we love our God, will serve Him, and then God is on their side, or say Jesus is there with them just because it is that kind of love. And then on the other side, Nebuchadnezzar also loves God now, but just because he hasn't come out of it, so his way of loving God is like, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it compulsive, I'm going to make it like mandatory, and it's going to be decreed and passed to the law that you have to bow down and worship. So it's like a different kind of way of loving, and that means he hasn't shaken off fully the tree of knowledge, good and evil, is still hanging on to that one. And then, so what we're trying to see here, that we still have, we still can be Christians, we can believe in God, and we can say good things and do the right thing, and we go to church whenever, whatever day you want to go to church. And then you still are following, like holding on to the knowledge between good and evil, and yet be good Christians and want to do good things and follow the law and make the law. But on the other side, where Jesus was showing and revealing himself and openly coming and others could see it being fully revealed in the person of Jesus Christ in the furnace, is where this that love of the true display of agape love. I just saw it like that.
No, that's very good, very good. Go ahead, Denise.
Something that Pastor just said really rang a bell in my mind, that the three friends, Daniel friends, they knew the God of agape love, and they were worshiping out of love and not out of fear. Everybody else was worshiping Nebuchadnezzar's God out of fear. So for our times in the Bible, there is a group that is going to know God's character of agape love, and they're in the Bible they're called 144,000 because they have the image of they have the Father in their foreheads, and they follow Jesus wherever he goes. So it's like knowing the character of God for our times. It's so important. Otherwise, you're going to be worshiping the false god.
Very. I believe, and I have been sharing this with all of us all through like this, okay? I believe with my whole heart, mind, and soul, after studying this Bible from 1976, okay, that we are living in the final phase of the history of the world. No question or doubt in my mind. Everything that is exponentially being played out now is proving the fact. I don't know whether you know this, but on the 17th of the month, 10 days ago, the Pope spoke to a huge congregation, and he openly did what? He admitted the fourth commandment. Did you see that, Mani? Mani saw it. He, on the 17th of the month, 17th of this month, 10 days ago, the Pope, and I, Lord help me, I hope, look, I really pray, I sincerely pray that I'm not leading you astray in any way, or I'm saying anything that is not a God, that is evil, okay? The papacy, right from the beginning, had denied the Sabbath. And here we are studying chapter 3. Nebuchadnezzar. And Nebuchadnezzar is doing what? He's agreeing with the true God. In a way, what he would have done there would have said, the fourth day, the fourth commandment, the Sabbath, make sure that everybody is worshiping on the right day. Don't go worshiping on Sunday. Everybody worship on the right day. Now, for the first time, believe me, go do research it. From 321 AD, for the first time, the Roman Catholic Church, the head, the vicar, the Son of God, the vicar of the Son of God, Jesus on earth, that's him. He claims that. Has spoken and admitted that the fourth commandment is the right day to worship. But what has he done, dear ones? We just read chapter 3 of Daniel. Yeah, exactly. Why? Go ahead, Denise. I don't want to cut. Go ahead.
So it's like what Nebuchadnezzar did.
Pardon?
It's like what Nebuchadnezzar did. He
That's
said,
why I'm trying, that's why I led everything
Wow.
up. That's why I led everything up. That's why I led everything up to the study, to here, and now somebody is openly admitting to 2 billion Catholics, openly admitting to 2 billion Catholics that the right day to worship is the fourth day. I mean the fourth commandment, the seventh day. Okay? We just read Daniel chapter 3. And the Bible is very clear. The Bible is very clear, dear ones. Slowly and slowly with our studies here, as time goes, by the grace of God, we will see that this whole issue, I have to read this, okay? This is in Revelation chapter 13. Now, look, the language here, unless I do it the right way, it's going to be a bit complicated, but I'll just read whatever I can. Then I saw another beast, John writing, coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke like a dragon. According to everything we're going to study in this church, and slowly, systematically, we're going to see that this refers to the two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon, and this system, exercises all the authority of the first beast in his presence and causes the earth and those who dwell in it to worship the first beast. It's all to do with Daniel chapter 3, dear ones. That's why I've led systematically there, whose deadly wound was healed. And the Bible and history completely and totally 100% proves who was this person whose deadly wound was healed. Okay? And I can't go in here right now. 1798, go back and look and check it out for yourself. He performs great signs so that even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of all men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth. And if we Christians think this doesn't apply to us, we are being deceived. Okay? And he deceived those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image. What image? Daniel chapter 3, remember? Make an image to the beast. Now, here is not a literal image. It is a spiritual situation, okay? Telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast whose wound was healed, who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted, I'll come to you, John, in a minute. Okay. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast. Keep in mind, breath to the image of the beast is to give it its power. A decree, a law will be come into place. Beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast. What did Nebuchadnezzar do? If you don't worship this beast, okay, as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. The right hand is where we are going to be involved with using force. On the mind, when we are going to promote it with our mind, okay? Image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on the right hand or on the forehead, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark of or the name of the beast, for this is the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who understands calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. We'll prove as we continue our study who this person is. Give John, and then we've got a minute to go. Not even a minute, 30 seconds.
I'll be very quick.
Go ahead.
Well, when the Pope said all this, and he said the fourth commandment, but they've already changed in Europe that Sunday is the seventh day. They've already altered the calendar.
Yes, but he has openly admitted that it is Saturday is the true Sabbath day. He has openly admitted that. Okay? Can we close in prayer, please? Aidan, go ahead.
Dear God, I pray that as we've learned a lot from this Bible study, Lord, I pray that as we learn something, Lord, I pray that we can use it and apply it in our daily lives, Lord. I pray that you bless Pastor Grant as he's come, and he came and he took his time out to share this Bible study, Lord. I pray that you bless him, and I pray that you bless each and every one of us as we've come here to listen to this Bible study, Lord. I pray you bless us. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank everyone for participating in this. Very good. Thank you.